Okay, so speaking with you both today, first of all, for folks who may not be familiar with Big City Greens, how would you describe the series?
Sure. Well, Big City Greens is it's basically an animated sitcom about a country family that moves from the farmlands to the big city. We get to follow Cricket Green and his family. Cricket is kind of a mischievous and curious kid who gets into lots of trouble and learns a few lessons along the way. He's also voiced by my brother, Chris Houghton.
That's right. And we got Cricket live in the studio right here. Oh, sorry. He sometimes possesses my entire being, and I am but a slave. Anyway, I'm back. This is Chris. Yeah, kids often describe the show as weird but good weird, and I really like that review.
Yeah, me too.
I feel like kids' reviews have to be one of the most honest things that you're probably going to get.
Yeah, they can be brutal. So weird but good weird is great.
Well, take it.
That's exactly what you want from a bunch of kids. Yeah, exactly. Chris, then do kids, when you get to talk to fans and you go out to events and things like New York Comic Con, which you guys just had recently, do they always ask you to do the voice, or are they surprised when, you have kind of two different voices, one that sounds like you and one that sounds like Cricket?
Yeah, it's funny because, there's a couple pieces to that. One, I sometimes forget I do the voice of Cricket.
Right.
I'm not joking when I say that, because it's like Shane and I wear so many hats on the show. We're doing so many things, and just wearing our producer hats to shepherd and write these episodes to get them through the pipeline. And so the voice of Cricket is just one of many hats. And so it's been this kind of revelation of this superpower I now have, where when I meet kids, I get to do the voice. And what's funny is they either have one of two reactions. They're either amazed and really, really happy about it, and it's kind of weird, or it's so weird for them that they can't really comprehend why this adult man sounds like their favorite cartoon little country boy that they watch on TV. And there's this weird disconnect. So I tell them to close their eyes, or I'll go behind a curtain or something and do the voice, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, now I hear it."
It's either wildly entertaining or just melts their brain.
Yeah,
really
exactly.
surreal, and it's too weird for them. So, but it's great. It's such a very cool part of this job.
So speaking of the fans out there and the viewers who have, gotten a chance to enjoy season one, how has the reaction been to that first season, and what's the momentum like going into the premiere of season 2?
Yeah, great. Yeah, there's been we've had a lot of fans reach out to us, which is always a real treat. We've actually had some physical letters sent to the studio, which is amazing.
I feel like the only people writing letters are little kids and grandmas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's so crazy. We had little packages sent to us and fan art, tons of fan art.
Yeah, we have
sent to the offices or posted online.
We have a whole hallway in the studio that we've lined with fan art, and you have to walk down it to go to the bathroom. So everybody walks down that hallway a few times a day, and it is inspiring and exciting to see all that fan art pour in, and it's energizing for the crew. Everybody just gets pumped up by it, and so for season 1, we had lots of we established the core family. We got them moving into big city, and they're discovering their surroundings. We had a big moment that we were building up towards around 2/3 of the way through season 1, when the mom comes back from she was in jail, and so now we've introduced a new family member to the core cast, and then now in season 2 we're kind of expanding that, and we want to reintroduce Nancy, the mom, into the family, and kind of rebuild their relationship with the mom, the kids, and then we're going to take them out into the world of big city even more, and the world just gets a little crazier, a little bigger, a little more wild, and season 2 is going to be really fun. I'm so excited for the fans to see.
Jumping off of that a little bit, since you kind of led me into this question anyway, is there anything you can tease about maybe some of the new challenges? You mentioned some of the new additions and kind of the changing dynamic for the family, but maybe you can tease some challenges that Cricket and the Green family might face in season 2?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. Well, we've now written over 100 episodes of Big City Greens, which is insane to think about. They're not all out on TV yet, of course, but as you write more and more episodes, I think it's easy for things to get weirder in the world of the show. In season 1, we spent a lot of time establishing the family, establishing the characters and the relationships and everything. And in season 2, we've gotten to play a lot more and really like kind of poke and prod our characters and put them in weirder situations and see how they react to this or that. So it's been a lot of fun. Do you want to give some specific teasers?
We have, let's see, we've got Grandma poses as a swamp witch to try to scare away all of her neighbors. We have Remy getting brainwashed by a YouTube influencer. Gloria, the barista at Big Coffee right next door, gets stuck in an elevator with the Greens for a whole episode.
Cricket accidentally basically shaves his head accidentally and has to run and get the assistance of Jonathan Van Ness to fix his hairdo, which is like, weird worlds colliding. We've got so many cool guest stars coming up. We've got Sherry O'Terry is playing this new kind of villainous character we have in the show named Gwendolyn Zapp, and she's kind of like a bizarre inventor from Silicon Valley, kind of Elon Musk.
Yeah, Elon Musk,
Zuckerberg,
Jeff Bezos. Just kind of a little kooky, but with lots of money, working in tech. We have an episode that we have to animate a bunch of it in CG. It's a video game episode, and so we get to see the Greens rendered in 3D animation. Cricket goes feral in one episode, which is really wild and fun. There are so many just kind of like really weird and interesting ideas. It is everything that season 1 was, but amped up. It's funnier, it's sweeter, it's got it all.
Yeah, and I'm not saying this to be like, ooh, this is a good soundbite, but it is a good soundbite. I'm actually really surprised and very happy that we've been able to tell some of the stories in season 2 that Disney's allowed us to go so crazy and weird and funny. If you've liked season 1, you're really going to like season 2.
Oh, and we'd be remiss if we didn't mention our Christmas special. We have a half-hour episode that takes place during the holidays, and it is a musical. We have 7 songs, and everybody in the Green family sings, and it is really insane. Christopher Lloyd guest stars. There's some stop-motion animation in it. It's we really pull out all the stops for the Christmas episode, and it's going to be good.
That's awesome. It's like you guys are reading my notes over my shoulder because you're just ticking off all the questions I have for you because I'm so excited about it. So speaking
we're like
of that,
little Energizer buddies. Just tell us when to like power off.
Oh, I love it. This is all great stuff. So for that special, was it your first time singing? Were other people in the cast, were they excited to sing? Was it a little daunting?
Oh yeah. Well, both Shane and I are really big musical theater fans. We were in the drama department together in high school, and same with a lot of our cast. They were all, well, obviously they're professional actors, unlike us, who are just trying our best to pretend.
Surprisingly, most of the cast had some sort of musical background, which we did not know, but we should have found that out before we decided to make a musical.
Hey, it really worked out.
It worked out. So Chris, as Cricket, sings, and Chris and I are both pretty musical, and we grew up in bands and playing various instruments. Mariev, who plays Tilly, worked as a jazz singer for years. And she would travel around and do like jazz gigs. So she has an incredible voice, which we just showcased in, there's a short that just went out, Random Rings, Disney Random Rings. Broken Karaoke is the one where she sings. And she sings a, kind of parody of the Disney Descendants song, Queen of Mean. She does a spin and does Queen of Nice. So if you're...
Real bop. Yeah. Real fire bop, as the kids are saying, real super
nailing it.
And on fire.
Yeah. Bob Joel, the guy who plays Bill, actually worked at Disney World in the band that comes out and plays as a tuba player. So he's got a musical background. He also did some music copyist work. And probably Artemis, who voices Grandma, was the least musical, but she was great, and the grandma bits are really fun.
I'm definitely looking forward to that, but I'm glad you mentioned Random Rings because I'm kind of curious how they came together. Where did that idea come from? And they're so much fun to listen to. I'd imagine they're a blast to make. So how did that all come together?
Yeah,
they are. They're one of. It's a special project where it is literally as much fun to make those as they are to watch because. One day I was trying to entertain myself, and I decided, again, I have this new superpower of doing Cricket's voice, and so I get calls from, like, telemarketers and stuff, and I always like to mess with them. And so I started using Cricket's voice and calling people and goofing off. And then I thought, hey, what if we actually did this in a legit and professional manner and made little shorts? Seeing Cricket and Tilly, at first we were calling them prank calls, but we realized they're not really pranks. It's really just seeing Cricket and Tilly's take on the world and different subjects. And so we were able to work with Disney, and they were really accommodating to figure out a way to make these little calls, and we then edit them down, and they just get weirder and more fun.
Yeah, those are the random rings. And Did you ask about random rings or broken karaoke?
I asked about random rings because you mentioned that.
Okay,
broken karaoke, feel free to speak on that too. Yeah.
The same department, there's a new shorts department run by Gino Guzzardo, who is doing great, and Broken Karaoke is the other one where they sing, and Mariev, the voice of Tilly, when she was singing, she said she had that was the hardest record she's ever had because it was so funny and weird that it was hard for her to sing straight and not just laugh throughout the whole thing.
That's too good. I love how you guys have kind of leveraged all these different platforms to be able to get different pieces of the story out there and explore different kind of angles of your characters. It's not, it's kind of non-traditional. So with Disney Plus coming out now, it's been announced that Big City Greens will, of course, be on there as well. Has that changed anything for your production process, either approaching it in season 2 or looking ahead? Does anything change with that, or is it just good to have another outlet for your show out there?
Yeah, well, we definitely have some fun ideas in the pipeline. But we like creating any type of content where our viewers can spend time with the characters. So we're really excited to see what we can do with Disney Plus and kind of see what new ways we can, tell stories and explore, the Greens' perspective on life and Big City. We're hoping Disney Plus will be a way that maybe a new audience can discover the show. If people don't have Disney Channel, but they've maybe seen clips on YouTube, we have a lot of clips on YouTube that have kind of blown up. And if for whatever reason they don't have access to Disney Channel, Disney Plus is just another way to discover the show. So yeah, we're very curious to see what happens with that.
Yeah, I have to be honest, like for me, as someone who doesn't really have that cable, because I rely mostly on my screeners or access like this for the job, but I can't wait to... You're not in the minority. Exactly. But I can't wait to just kind of be able to have that all at my fingertips and be able to access it and be able to just queue up one of the episodes. And I'm speaking, specifically about your show as well. Be able to queue that up whenever I want and catch up on stuff and watch, the Halloween special last year and get ready for the Christmas special this year. So really look forward to that.
Yeah, we are too. I think it'll be really cool, and fans have been asking for a long time, and it's going to be big.
Awesome. Before I run out of time with you guys today, in addition to season 2 coming up, and you've got Broken Karaoke, I'm guessing there's more of that coming, and more random rings coming up. So what else is in the pipeline for you guys that's coming up?
Yeah, so season 2 is going to be a total of 30 half hours. Yeah. So that will be 60 11-minute episodes, and starting on November 16th, and then we'll be airing in chunks for the next foreseeable future. And so that's kind of been the main chunk of our time. We're still working on a lot more short form content as well. So there's more random rings coming up. I think there's 10 more? Yeah, we're doing a lot more random rings and even trying to switch up the format a little bit that I think viewers really like. And like Shane said, like playing around with putting stuff on YouTube. It's cool. It's a different medium. We get immediate feedback. A lot of our fan base is on YouTube, and it's been a great way to introduce the show to new audiences, but then also give people who have been watching the show and, they write in, I've seen every episode 5 times. Well, then here's a new thing that's attached to Big City Greens, but it's a little different. And so we've got a lot more short form YouTube stuff coming and other projects that we can't quite talk about.
Look, it's probably way too early to ask this question because it feels like this series is just kind of like just gathering its own momentum and there's still a lot of stories to tell. But do you both have an end game in mind, or do you have a specific way that you would like to see the story either conclude eventually or transition to maybe something else?
Yes, we do have an ending in mind for the series. It's something that we've been working towards and that we want to tell at some point, but we're not ready to do that just yet. But we are working towards something. So hopefully, though, we'll have plenty of chances to tell lots more stories before we get to that ending.
Fair enough. I think in closing, before I get cut off here, I want to say thank you so much for your access today, but also thank you for that this season 2 premiere, which I absolutely adored. It may surprise you to learn that one of my favorite characters was the inanimate object known as the Kludge. Because I drive a Jeep that was made in the previous century, and it's still going, so it just does my heart good to see that the Kludge is still with the green family.
That's great. I feel like everyone's got a Kludge in their life, or RIP had a Kludge in their life at one point, so that's great to hear. Take care of her.
Yeah.
Take care of her.
Will do. And you guys take care as well. Thank you so much for joining me for the chat today.